Welcome back to my second Godot for C# tutorial. In this tutorial, I'll be showing you how to create user interfaces, how to reference the user interface nodes, and how to make your scripts react to node signals. There's two parts to Godot's UI system that are important to programmers. Part 1, being able to reference a specific UI element and display or modify its fields, as well as modify its behavior. Part 2 is being able to receive data from a UI element and respond to it in some way in C#. The first steps we're going to do is we're going to create a UI. So one misnomer that may lead you astray, and it certainly led me astray, is creating a control node right off the bat, the green node. The problem with that is that it won't be placed correctly in your scene. So to get the solution that I've come up with is I'm actually going to create a new node 2D first. And then I'm going to create a canvas layer. And then I'm going to add a control node. And then we're going to create a script to control the UI. We're going to expose fields to be assigned in Godot to be able to read or modify their fields. And then we're also going to receive signals from a UI node. It's going to be very similar to Unity's onClick event. It's going to be similar, but not the same. Let's get started. In our scenes, we're going to right click. We're going to choose Create New. We're going to create a new scene. And to start off, we're going to create this as a 2D scene. We're going to just call this 20. And I'm just going to call this my main menu. And we're going to hit OK. Now, I'm just going to scroll in. Now, if you haven't set your project settings to my resolution settings, you can definitely do that to follow along. So you're going to go Project Settings, and we're going to choose Window. And viewport width is going to be 480, and the viewport height is going to be 270. And we're going to make sure we have the advanced settings on. We're going to do the window width override to 1920 by 1080 so it's bigger on my screen. If you have a lower resolution screen, like if you're running at 1920 by 1080, then you may want to make it 1280 by 720 instead, just so that it isn't humongous and you'll be able to easily see the output messages. Now that we got our node created, let's go ahead and add a child node. And to make the control node behave in the way that we would expect it to behave similar to Unity, is I'm going to go ahead and add a canvas layer underneath it. Underneath the canvas layer, I'm going to add another child node, and now I'm going to add the control node to it. And the control node automatically doesn't come sized to your window. I'm going to just choose this and stretch it out. And there it goes. It fills up the entire window. So you can come over to Layout and see that if we go to the transform, it's filled up to 480 by 270. Now we're going to create a button and a text object. So when we click on the button, it's going to change the text object, and we'll just have it count a number. So let's go ahead and add a child node, and we're just going to search. We're going to go button, and we're just going to put a regular button in there. And we'll just call this button 1. And I like to change the name of this. I'm just going to call this button 1 as well. I'm just going to like stick it kind of in the center. And then I'm going to add another child node, and I'm going to add a label. So the label is just the plain text object for UIs in Godot. And I'm just going to say this is the default label text. I'm going to type that in. And one thing that I'd like to do is turn on my auto wrap, and we'll just make it word smart. And we are also going to change the layout, and we'll just make it square in the transform. So I'll make it 270 by 270. And I'm going to go into my anchor and I'm going to anchor it to the right side of the screen. There we go. Perfect. Now we are going to get a reference to this label to be able to change it. So on 20 main menu, we're going to go ahead and attach a script. Notice that's in the wrong place. So we are going to change the place as well. So first off, I'm going to change my name. You can't have a number starting your name of your class names in C#. So you have to have a word. So I'm just going to call this main menu 20 like that. Hit the folder button, come up here, go into our scripts folder. I'm just going to hit open, make sure it says main menu 20. So now it's going to be in scripts main menu 20. C#, we're going to inherit from node TD. The inheritance needs to match the node that the script is sitting on. And that's going to open up our code editor. And I'm just going to clean up this code a little bit. Again, this is going to be one of those scripts that is not going to need the process function, but I'm just going to leave it in there for now. Now we need a reference to that label. So we're going to export. So this is going to be similar to Unity's serialized field or making it public. Making it public here, if I just made this public without exporting, would not actually make it available to Godot. So we need the export tag in front of it. So I'm going to do export public label, and I'm just going to call it my label. And that's all we need to do. Now, to show that it's working, we're just going to do this on start. We're going to do my label.text equals, and we're just going to do this and say, change the label on ready in C#. And use an exclamation point because whatever. Let's come back over to here. Now you're going to notice that it's not showing here. We need to build our solution. And sometimes the label doesn't show up, so you might want to click off and then click back on to here to see the assign button. You're going to click on main menu up here. We're going to click on assign. And we got the label right here. We're double click it, save, and we're going to choose this button to run the current scene. So we're just going to run it. And you'll see it went from this is the default label to saying change the label on ready in C#. The next step is we're going to change it with a signal from the button. So click on the button, click on node, and right here, base button, button up. We're going to double click it, and it's going to say on button, button up. We're going to copy that receiver method. It's going to go back, make sure the 20 main menu is highlighted. It's the only script that it's going to be able to go to for now. We're just going to hit connect. And you'll notice that it's not putting in our field name. So we're going to paste that in there that we just copied. So we're going to go public void and put in our thing. And again, we're just going to change the label text. So we go my label.text equals the button changed the text. It has been clicked. And then we're going to add a count field to our script. So we're just going to come up here to the top and we're going to go private int count. And we're just going to increment it at the beginning. Count plus plus. And there we go. So let's go back to Godot. We're going to build our solution again. We're going to run our game. And we're going to click the button. Say the button the button change the text has been clicked once. Click it again, 2, 3, and it's just going to keep on counting it as much as we want. And that's all you're going to need to know to make the fields and buttons work on a very, very basic level.